for the CHSAA Network here. Baseball state finals from All City Stadium in Denver, Colorado. 4A and 5A action this morning and afternoon. Burgers, dogs on the grill for the lovely lunch festivities. Fans rolling in, excited for a high 80s day. The first game of our matchup this afternoon, the number 2 seeded Broomfield Eagles will be taking on the top seeded Air Academy Kadets. Starting lineups being announced on the field. On the near sideline, the first base dugout side is Air Academy in the white pinstripes. And the Broomfield Eagles wearing the camouflage blue jerseys. And led by head coach Garen Estes. His opponent today, the head coach of the Kadets, Bernie Moncalo, who won a state title back in 2009 in 5A with Cheyenne Mountain. Should be a good one here today. It's a double elimination tournament. Broomfield undefeated. A victory in the first game gives them the state title. Air Academy would have to win 2 this afternoon to claim the crown. Now we'll rise and join the playing of the national anthem.
Thank you very much. And before we honor our country with the playing of the national anthem, let us show our appreciation for those serving our country today and in the past through the United States Armed Forces. Join me in a round of applause to thank them for their service. At this time, to honor America, please remove all headgear, flag and straightaway center for the playing of the national anthem.
Great day for baseball. This the 4A state championship game. Josh Gross, Andy Lindahl with you from the press box here at All City. Fantastic to have you with us. And the teams played their semifinals a day ago. Broomfield remaining undefeated. Air Academy getting a 6-2 win over Cheyenne Mountain to make up for the loss they had to them back on May 18th. And Andy, it's always exciting on Championship Saturday, commemorated by Memorial Day weekend. Great baseball in store.
Yeah, this is always a fun weekend. I'm excited to see how these two teams come out. There's a little bit of a hill to climb for Air Academy, to say the least. They are facing the juggernaut in 4A as Broomfield takes the field there, as they're ready to try to go ahead and cap off this title-winning campaign, so they hope, in this early morning game. And again, if the Kadets were to win this game, we will have another game between these very two teams later on this afternoon. Broomfield hoping that doesn't need to happen. You can see Broomfield had some fatigue jerseys, some special fatigue jerseys they were wearing in warm-ups. That is, of course, because their manager tied so closely to the armed forces, growing up close to the armed forces, so they're showing their respect this Memorial Day weekend. Nice touch, I think, Josh.
Yeah, the coach for Broomfield, Garen Estes, he originally from the San Diego area, Said a few years ago they decided to do it. Kind of saw the San Diego Padres take the leap with them and said, you know what, it's a good touch. It's a nice way to commemorate. Actually hosted a fundraiser a few years ago, gathered up baseball gear, sent it over to the troops overseas so they can enjoy the short amount of downtime that they do have. For Air Academy, 22-3 this season. Bernie Moncalo is the head coach, the athletic director, Diane Shuck. Of course, headquartered down in Colorado Springs are the Kadets. The pitcher this afternoon for the Broomfield Eagles is Jackson Lockwood. This year have looked like softball as well. The 2-2 from McGeary, that one fouled off. Bailey simply can't catch up to McGeary's fastball.
Yeah, but it's always interesting for me. The sign of a good hitter, in my opinion, is when you see a guy start to foul a pitcher off, kind of time him better, it usually leads to a hit. If we see another foul ball or two, maybe Bailey ends up winning this battle. McGeary needs to shut this down before it gets that far.
He gives Lockwood and his teammates a chance to get a better look at McGeary. These two teams separated by about an hour, 20 minutes, hour and a half. Broomfield, of course, halfway between Denver and Boulder, closer to the foothills. McGeary delivers sky high, going after it, the first baseman Hockmuth, and it'll land in the Kadets dugout, so harmlessly out of play. McGeary retrieves, and the full count pitch will be coming once again.
Bailey, though, having a good battle right now with McGeary. Letting his teammate in the on-deck circle, Lockwood, take a few more looks at this pitcher. We'll see if it helps in the next at-bat, but like I said, good battle for Brandon Bailey right now.
The payoff, that one hit to right. Matt Ryan has to move just a step or two, and he has it in his grasp. So Brandon Bailey, every foul ball, and then ultimately the one that gets him out, all of them hit to the right side. That one ends up in the glove of the right fielder.
Bailey looked like, though, he timed him out well. And again, let's see what kind of dividends maybe that at-bat plays for Lockwood here, as he had a chance to look at a few different pitches there from McGeary.
The senior Lockwood, a left-handed batter, .494 batting average with hits in 22 of the 24 games he's played in. Looks at a ball on the first pitch. Rests the bat on his shoulder, skies that one high. It's converged on by the second baseman. The shortstop, Kevin Giordano, has it. 3 up, 3 down, both halves of the first inning. No score here from All City Stadium.
For the Eagles in the home half of the first, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We've played 1, no score. Scheduled hitters for the Kadets, McGarry, Petra, and Grove. Setting the defense for the Eagles, over at first base, number 15, Albert Garcia. Second baseman is Jordan Armstrong. Over at third is Brandon Bailey, and the shortstop, Angelo Ferrer. Around the outfield, Hayden Estes is the left, Parker Oliver center, and Dylan Gables over in right field. The battery for the Broomfield Eagles doing the catching, Ben Martinez, and on mound, Jackson Lockwood.
1 inning in the books here in Denver, Colorado, the 4A state championship game. The Air Academy Kadets dugout looking on as the number 4 hitter. The pitcher bats cleanup, Kevin McGeary, 400 on the season. First pitch at the belt on the outside corner for a strike. Second, just a little bit wide.
Just got a call from our buddy, well, a text actually from our buddy Mark Schlereth, whose son played, Daniel, played at Highlands Ranch. Pretty good Colorado prep pitcher. Another foul ball on the at-bat there. Said he's listening. enjoying it so far. Seems to enjoy you more than me, Josh. But Daniel obviously making his way now with the Detroit Tigers, or was for a while. He's trying to work some things out in the minors as we speak. But
just foul of the first base line. Albert Garcia with the left-handed glove was there. The umpire says it was just outside the bag.
A lot of good prep baseball players come out of this area. Go on to prominent careers. Of course, the most famous, Roy Halladay, I would say at this point. Maybe you can come up with someone better, but I would think Doc would hold that crown right now.
He's going to hold that crown for a long time with the career he's had in the bigs. That one slapped foul to the Broomfield dugout. Second inning at a sun-splashed all-city baseball field. Beautiful weather yesterday for the 5A semifinals. Hit on the ground, through on a line by McGeary. And the first hit of the game belongs to the Kadets pitcher, the cleanup hitter.
Well, McGeary just got done winning his battle with Lockwood. Now comes out and finds a way to put himself on base as he leads off this inning for the Kadets. Again, both teams trying to pressure the other team's defense, so let's see if we don't maybe see McGeary in motion here. The Kadets want to get this first run any way they have to do it, whether it's by traditional means, just a nice hit, maybe even a deep home run, or putting the guys in motion, butting them over, whatever. They will scrap out runs any way they can.
Man on for the number 5 hitter, the center fielder, Billy Shatraw, a .316 average this season. Lead off first by McGeary. The pitch is in there on the outside corner, a fastball for a strike. That one, a ball from Lockwood. A 15 strikeout game a month ago for Lockwood against Mountain View. He's behind in the count, 2-1 to the number 5 hitter. 15 strikeouts in a game with only 21 outs. Runner goes, hit and run was on, and it's fouled out of play.
Now again, there's some of that evidence of the movement that we will see out of this Air Academy squad as they try to manufacture either an extra base situation or just get the runner over however they have to. Can move McGeary up to second. He's in scoring position.
That one hits center field. Tracking back is Parker Oliver. He's got a beat on it, 10 feet in front of the track, gets it back in. Retreating to first is McGeary.
That was a well-hit ball, but McGeary was 3/4 of the way to second. By the time that was gloved, he had to trot on back to first. No chance to tag whatsoever.
Andy, when you have two pitchers, two starting pitchers whose ERAs are both below 2, how important is the first run?
It's very important, and you know as well as I do, just talking to the coaches, Josh, both the managers in this game value that first run, which is a little unusual in my opinion for a team like Broomfield that's undefeated and by all accounts has just been dominating 4A this year.
High and tight to Kevin Kimbrough, the hero in yesterday's game. He's a .384 hitter. And a day ago, he had a home run and 4 RBIs to propel his team to the title champ.
Funny thing about Broomfield, though, is this. Even if the Kadets do get that first run that, as we said, is highly coveted right now by both sides, I've been told by some of my friends that have watched the baseball and observed the Broomfield squad this year, so there's a bit of a wild pitch, and McGeary's going to try to move up on it and does.
Well, it's as good as moving the run over on a bunt or a sacrifice fly on the leadoff, so McGeary takes second on the ball in the dirt.
I thought Martinez did a good job to get his chest in front of it. It took one hop, he blocked it down and was quick up on his feet to get the throw off to second, but McGeary just took advantage immediately as soon as he saw that pitch in the dirt.
This one straight over our head, 2-2 still.
Finish my point. The thing about Broomfield that's so tough is I've been told Broomfield can be in a tight game in the 4th inning and then just explode and still 10-run rule a team before they hit the 6th. They're just that potent offensively once they get the bats going. So the Kadets need to try to build as big a lead as possible at any time.
The Eagles were undefeated in conference play, 14-0 this season, 21-4 overall. That one right back up the middle past Lockwood. Rounding third is McGeary. The throw home from the center fielder, not in time. It's cut off. And the Kadets on the board first. An RBI single from Kevin Kimbrough. He stays hot here in the championship.
And that ball was smoked right back just high enough that it didn't pose a threat to Lockwood, but it came back his way quickly and got into center field really fast. McGeary, you could tell, had on his mind the moment the ball was struck that he was going to head for home. As you take a look at the replay again, sails past Lockwood. Good hit. And that first run is scored by the Air Academy Kadets.
Too deep was Oliver in center field to have a play at the plate. As the number 7 man, Jeremy Hockmuth, steps up. And Andy, that move by McGeary to get to second base, that was huge, wasn't it?
It was. That wild pitch, he took advantage of it. He moved up. And again, we were told that was going to be the Kadets' strategy, and it paid off right there.
Right back up the middle. That one passed Lockwood as well. He reached out the glove as Oliver retrieves in center. Back-to-back singles, and 3 of the first 4 men have reached here in the second inning against Lockwood. Kadets in business.
Well, you got to feel like Lockwood maybe is throwing the ball where he wants to, but not with the velocity would be my guess, because the Kadets are all over it right now, and everything going right back up the middle this inning. Some well-struck balls. Even the one that wasn't out still was deep.
Number 8 hitter in the lineup is Matt Ryan, a 6'1", 170-pound junior, as he looks at a ball. How nice is it to have your number 8 hitter hitting .400?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That shows some depth, doesn't it?
That'll lead you to a top seed in the postseason and a 22-3 mark overall.
Gives you some options when you're putting the scorecard together.
Far behind is Lockwood, 3-0. Correction, 2-0. Green light here, Andy?
I was going to say no, but I was wrong.
He had it, making 2-1 to Matt Ryan.
I mean, at this point, if I'm the Kadets, I think I want to make Lockwood throw a few more pitches. We saw how quickly they were to take some hacks at the beginning of the game. They've settled down in the second inning. They're battling a little bit more against Lockwood.
Kimbrough on second, Hockmuth on first, and battling back from a 2-0 count. Now it's 2-2 from the right arm of Lockwood. Bats left, throws right. 2 on, 1 out. Got him swinging.
He took something off that pitch because he definitely found a way to get Ryan in front of that one. Ryan had the full swing through before that ball even looked like, from my vantage point, made it to the plate. So I don't know if that was the changeup or what that was in Lockwood's arsenal, but he definitely fooled Ryan on that pitch.
A run in, still 2 on with 2 outs now for the number 9 batter, Kevin Giordano, the shortstop. Look out, high and tight to Giordano, a .299 hitter. He's got 10 RBIs on the season and a chance for one here.
A little how you doing from Lockwood. I don't think that was intentional. Again, he hit a batter in the first inning, so he doesn't look to have his total control.
The 1-0 is up high, so he's gone 2-0 to the last 2 hitters. And now the number 9 man, does he have the green light? We'll see on this upcoming pitch.
And Lockwood dropped his head after that pitch. Looks like he's a little frustrated, tired of being behind in the count to these batters. And you could see from the angle as we get another pitch, is going to make it 3-0. You see in the camera angle, we've got kind of a shorter batter as you watch from Lockwood's point of view on the mound. So he's dealing with a smaller strike zone. He's got to be a little more accurate with these pitches here, and so far he's struggling with this batter to make it happen.
Wide stance by the 6-footer as he crouches down, sees 4 straight balls to load the bases for the top of the order, and Curtis Butler. 2
high, 2 inside, Josh. And Lockwood, who's described as incredibly accurate, again, we were saying with some of his pitches that he gave up for hits, I think he was placing them in the right area, but now with the velocity, and so far right now, it doesn't look like he's getting the ball to go where he wants it to the last couple of batters, even though he did have a nice outing against Matt Ryan.
Bases full of Kadets. A line drive drops in down the right side. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. To second goes Butler. 3-0 Kadets here in the second.
A good reaction by Ben Martinez, the catcher from Broomfield, not to let that be more. That ball was kind of thrown into no man's land, went in between the cutoff man and the pitcher, and Martinez reacting quickly to stop that, or another Cadet would have crossed, but now it's a 3-0 lead. You got to imagine the Kadets are feeling really good about themselves as we take a look at the replay. Again, he didn't exactly come around on it, did Giordano, but he got enough of it to poke it out into the outfield. And again, we continue to see Lockwood hit well. Everyone's making solid contact with the pitches that they are connecting with. Not much happening in the infield for Lockwood right now.
He gives up about a half a hit an inning. This inning so far, he's given up 4, 3 singles and a double. Sandwich a walk in there. That's Giordano, who stands at third. Butler with 2 RBIs is at second. Sky high to first base. Battling the sun is Arnsdorf. He makes the catch and the out. The inning is over, but the damage is done. 3 Cadets come on to score. McGeary, Kimbrough, and Hockmuth touch home plate. It's 3-0 Kadets through 1.5.
For the Kadets in the second, 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 runners left. For all 3 runs is earned runs. They take a 3-0 lead into the home half of the second. Scheduled for the Eagles, Kadets, Martinez, and Gable. Bottom of the second, Kadets up 3-0 at the plate.
We're back in Denver. Air Academy jumps all over Jackson Lockwood and the Broomfield Eagles. It's 3-0 Kadets through 1.5. The University of Denver, lovely campus right across the street. The cleanup hitter, Angelo Perez, a junior who's hit .380 this season. .648 slugging percentage at the dish. The 1-0 catches at the knees on the inside corner, 1-1.
Now let's see how McGeary reacts to having a lead. He looks already a little bit more comfortable just body language-wise out there.
Breaking ball on the outside is just wide.
Again, you can't go to sleep, though, in this Broomfield offense. They get their bats going, it can be a long inning for you real quickly.
Skied left field. Yeager is there with plenty of room. The call to catch, 1 away. Albert Garcia recorded the win on Friday for Broomfield, his first victory of the season. He entered the game with the 3.33 ERA and 21 innings pitched. That one hit to left field. It'll go foul. Chasing is the third baseman, Kimbrough, and just running out of room. Landing right in front of the Eagles bullpen.
Now we'll have to see if the Eagles don't get their bats going a little bit now. Martinez, the catcher, digging in there on the dish.
.338 hitter here in 2012. One more year for him playing for Coach Estes.
It's like McGeary tried to nibble outside there, went a little low, a little farther outside the zone than he wanted it to.
Check swing. Check at first. He did not go. The Eagles have won its last 2 games by a run. 6-5 over Cheyenne Mountain on May 20th. And yesterday 5-4 over Canyon City to hang on after building a quick 4-0 lead, fouled off by Martinez. One away here at the bottom of the second. 3 Kadets came across to score in the top half of the inning. That's where we stand right now. On the ground, third base. Kimbrough, couple hops, throw across the diamond to Hockmuth, 2 away.
So another good battle for a Broomfield batter, but it doesn't produce any results right now. And the Kadets have it rolling here in the bottom of the second.
The number 6 hitter is Dylan Gable. Couple RBIs yesterday, a .431 batting average entering action. Slugs at .723 for the left-hander with the shin guard on the right shin. Gable ahead 2-0. Nice additions to the field today. Stars out on the infield. The initials of the 5 remaining teams. Top the area behind home plate. There's one of those stars. That between the pitcher's mound and first base. McGeary's 3-0 is high and wide. And a 2-out walk to Gable, who doesn't have to lift the bat off his shoulder.
Of course, we have 5 initials of the schools down there because 4A will be decided between Broomfield and Air Academy regardless. Again, if you're not familiar with the scenario, if Air Academy wins, we will see these 2 teams play another one later on this afternoon. Legend knows that they are in the championship game. It's just a matter if they'll face Cherry Creek or Regis.
Gable the leadoff first. Jordan Arnsdorf, the second baseman, into the box. .290 hitter. He does strike out 26% of his plate appearances this year. So not great contact with the bat. The pickoff throw, no tag applied by Hockmuth as diving back in is Gable. The 1-0 is outside. Snap throw from the catcher. A good one, and it's a good look from Goldberg with a right-handed batter up there, but not in time.
The Kadets seem intent on making sure that they keep the runner at first and he does not advance into scoring position. Not the biggest of leads. But that little extra hop step at the end from first, I think, is maybe why you keep seeing the snap throws. The catcher going down there trying to pick off the runner as well.
He's not going to be going anywhere here on the 3-0. McGeary misses, ball 4. Back-to-back walks on 4 pitches to each batter from McGeary. First Gable and now Arnsdorf. And a visit to the mound by Coach Moncalo.
So Albert Garcia steps in with a chance to do some damage here, Josh, and we'll see what he can bring. Again, a .421 batting average, slugging percentage of .421, on-base percentage of .577. So we'll see what he can do. I mean, again, deep in the lineup like this, to have that kind of potent stats coming to the plate, it's a nice luxury. You can see why both these teams are so highly ranked inside this classification.
Garcia without an extra base hit this season as Moncalo retreats to his dugout. Trouble in the in the top half of the inning for Lockwood led to 3 runs by the Kadets. Threatening on the bottom half are the Eagles with 2 away. Garcia looks at ball 1. That's 9 straight balls now thrown by McGeary, who looked like he was cruising. He retired the first 5. Delivery catches the inside corner. First strike in his last 10 pitches from McGeary.
Well, and I find it interesting a little bit. It looks like Coach Moncalo went out there and basically told his guys, let's just worry about getting the man at the plate out. Nobody holding either runner on at this point. Kadets are just going to focus on playing some defense. Now, there was almost a sneak play to second.
That one line foul down the first base line. Giordano was the shortstop, tapping his glove to keep Gable close to give his outfield a shot at a peg at the plate if the ball makes it there.
Boy, I thought that was going to sneak over and drop fair. That almost was a C&I single down the right field line.
Goldberg now plays a visit to McGeary. Ahead of the hitter Garcia, and now the shortstop Giordano has some words for him.
Well, I wonder if Giordano twice looked like he wanted to sneak in and try to get a pickoff move on that runner at second. Wonder if that's maybe what some of the conversation was about.
Pickoff play is on, no throw, as the runner, Gable, was all over it.
I think Giordano feels like Gable's not paying attention to where he is. I think he thought there was an opportunity there. Now they're going to let it go. Giordano backs away. Big swing and a miss for Broomfield, and that'll be the inning, Josh.
So a couple walks, couple left. No damage done to McGeary and the Kadets. Air Academy on top, 3-0 after 2.
For the Eagles in the home half of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 runners left. We've played 2 innings. Kadets 3, Eagles 0. Scheduled hitters for the Air Academy Kadets: Yeager, Gary, and Central. Educational athletics, including contests like this one, teach lifetime values such as respect for your opponents, coaches, officials, and classmates. There are few better places in athletic competition to demonstrate respect for others. By your demonstration of respect for those participating and watching today, you underscore that the most important part of high school competition is the people involved, and not the game itself. Here we go, top half of the third for the Kadets. Left fielder number 2, Luke Yeager.
Top of the third inning. First pitch swinging by the Kadets, and Luke Yeager one away on one pitch here to start the top half of the frame. Ground out to the shortstop.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's Lockwood's first infield hit for an out that he's had in a couple of innings. Everything that last inning and the big inning for the Kadets went into the outfield. He's been hit hard today as he goes inside again, finally getting to face a left-handed batter. You'd think more often than not you wouldn't want to face a left-handed batter, but he's been throwing inside on a number of guys.
Swing and a miss by McGeary.
He actually looks more comfortable against the lefty, Josh.
Kevin had a leadoff single to start the second. He came around to score on Kevin Kimbrough's continued hot hitting. McGeary looks at a strike on the inside corner at the knees. 1-2. Outfield shaded slightly, playing McGeary to pull as he fouls that one off his hands. Back out of play.
Well, this is an interesting scenario, in my opinion. You've got Air Academy up 3-0. Of course, as we've warned you all along, Broomfield has the potential to explode at any moment. Ooh, and Lockwood gets the call there. So he'll retire his second batter and having a little more control, taking control of this inning as there's now 2 down. But anyway, going back to the point, I don't want to disrespect the Broomfield offense. There's a long way to go in this game, but if Air Academy were to win, it sets up an interesting scenario in that second game, Josh, because you'd be dealing with a Broomfield team that have to recover from its first loss of the season before heading into the championship game.
3 strikeouts on the afternoon for Lockwood, and after an 8-batter second inning, he now has a chance to retire the side 1-2-3. He did that in the first as CHSAA fouls it off. The 0-2. Got him on the change. Down on strikes goes CHSAA. 1-2-3 inning for Lockwood through 3. It's 3-0 Kadets here in the state championship game.
Moving to the home half of the third, the Eagles are down 3-0. Coming to the plate for Broomfield, Estes, Oliver, and Bailey. Big O Tires is one of the largest retail tire and auto service centers in the United States. Each store is independently owned and operated by customer-focused individuals who live in the communities that they serve. When you trust Big O Tires and auto service, you are putting your trust in a member of your community, your neighbor.
Yep. I already graduated. Okay. Why did you do that? A lot of them, apparently I had a slipper.
End of the school year for high school students here in Denver, Colorado. The Air Academy faithful sees its team with a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third. Broomfield without a hit in the first two, a couple of walks in the second, as swing and a miss by Hayden Estes, the left fielder. A .414 hitter batting in the number 9 hole today to set the table for the top of the lineup.
McGeary looks like he's settled in very well. Looks comfortable out there again. We mentioned that at the bottom of the second inning there, the last inning.
McGeary deals high and away.
I'd have to say, just comparing the two pitchers, if the score didn't tell you already, McGeary really looking the more comfortable of the two, having the better control right now. Of course, his team with the 3-0 lead. Although he did see some traffic on the bases that last inning. See how Lockwood benefits from the quick inning, the top half of this third.
Fouled straight back. It's interesting when your coach calls you a typical lefty, a goofy guy. That's how Bertie Moncalo described today's southpaw.
First off, I think most people think that left-handed folks are a little goofy. Josh, can you attest to that?
You said it, not me.
Do you care to comment? No?
My son, 19 months old, we're still not sure what he is. He throws the ball with both hands. We'll have to wait and see.
You know what, make him ambidextrous, there'll be some money to be made somewhere at some point. But goalies, typically whether you're talking lacrosse or hockey, are kind of goofy.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have a screw loose.
Yeah. So you get them in every sport.
Payoff pitch. Well wide of the plate. Estes waves at it and misses. Third strikeout of the day for McGeary, top of the lineup in Parker Oliver.
Nothing goofy about the cruise control that he's settled into, though, right now. He seems to have these Broomfield hitters baffled for the moment. See if they can figure him out.
Strike on the outer half. Oliver leading off the game. Struck out on 4 pitches. Popped up right side. Will Hockmuth have room? To the fence. Couldn't make the play.
Cheer went up from the crowd. I thought for a moment maybe he had it, as our vantage point was blocked by the top of the dugout there for Air Academy.
Hockmuth's one of 2 sophomores on the Kadets roster. Garrigenser the other. Other than that, all upperclassmen. We'll do the 0-2 again. Hit the second base. Butler to his right. The throw in time. 2 away.
Nice play for Butler. So that ball looked like it was going to threaten to maybe sneak through when it was right off the bat. Air Academy continues to enjoy good defensive presence in the field. Not really let much get going for Broomfield. And McGeary working, he's especially working that outside corner against these right-handed batters. A strong right-handed presence for Broomfield. There it is again.
Center fielder Shatraw is shaded just a few steps toward right center. 380 to dead center, 360 to the alleys here, and 340 down the lines. Strike 2. Brandon Bailey flied out to right field in his first at-bat after a patient at-bat where he worked the pitcher.
was going to say the first matchup we saw between these two, Bailey did a good job and really was the best early at-bat that Broomfield had, as he wasn't swinging early, but he hasn't seemed to figure out McGeary just yet. Oh,
that one slapped down the left field line. Could be extra bases for Bailey. Rounding first, thrown in by Yeager. Ball cut off by the shortstop, Giordano. And a 2-out double for Bailey as he slapped that one inside the foul line.
My apologies to Air Academy for throwing the old Kurt Gowdy on their pitcher there, McGeary. As soon as I say that Bailey hasn't figured him out, he ropes one down the right field line, or left field line, excuse me.
For Bailey, his 8th double on the season and 12th extra base hit. Now it's the pitcher Lockwood.
Ooh.
And that one caught his outside shoulder blade. Usually you see it catch the inside one, and that one actually, as a left-handed batter, caught him seemingly by that left side. He shakes off the right arm, though. With 2 outs now, a couple on for the Eagles.
I don't want to stir up any conspiracy theories. Now we're going to get a runner for Lockwood.
Give him a chance in the dugout to shake that off before he comes out the next inning.
Lockwood has hit a couple of the Air Academy batters, been inside a number of times. I'm not sure there's any messages being sent in a high school baseball game, but McGeary also has been kind of outside with his pitches. As I've said, he's been working the outside corner, and then when you bring the left-handed bat in there, that's where he's trying to work. That's kind of where he set up shop. We saw Yeager a little bit earlier for Air Academy get plunked on the hand. He was in a great deal of pain as he tried to shake off a finger injury.
Angelo Perez with 2 on, 2 out. Bailey's on second. Ryan McCulley will pinch run for Lockwood as he gets a breather before going back out on the mound for the 4th. Two walks in the second inning. 2 men left. Now 2 on with 2 outs here in the 3rd. No runs across for Broomfield. Ball 1 to the cleanup hitter, Angelo Perez. Nice lead at second by Bailey. Secondary lead. He retreats after a 2-0 count.
Yeah, there was another pitch. He was throwing that a little more inside and a little higher there earlier. That one just got away from him. A little farther outside and lower than he wanted.
Perez swinging on 2-0. It's hit to left center field. Shatraw makes the catch and ends the inning. A double, a hit batsman, 2 left. No runs across for Broomfield. 3-0 Air Academy through 3 here at All City.
Down to the 4th, it'll be Kimbrough, and Ryan, Matthew Ryan.
Top of the 4th we go. Umbrellas not for rain, but for sun this afternoon, or late morning actually, as it is here in Colorado, as we approach the 11 o'clock hour. Kevin Kimbrough. A single in the 2nd and an RBI.
That was a hot shot off the top corner of the backstop there. Doesn't look like we'll get a chance to catch any foul balls. They're not going to make the press box today. Do you have good hands? Could I have trusted you?
No, absolutely not. Backstop extends another 10 feet above us.
We could. They call that the Josh Gross cage topper.
Out of play, 0-2. You know, some people look at adults that bring gloves to games and say, you can't do that, it's for the kids. Good story after this pitch. It reminded me with the pinstripes. That one in the dirt, 1-2. Yankee Stadium, the last ever season for the old stadium. I'm there with a good friend of mine. We come to batting practice. I'm not exaggerating on this. He can back me up on it. You actually know him. The 1-2 hit on the line down the third base line and foul. 4 balls caught by 4 different people standing immediately next to my friend. He got none of them. 4 different people, 4 balls. The guy butting shoulders with a good friend of mine, Don Sunblade.
Did they all have gloves?
They did not even all have gloves.
Wow.
And I think they were commemorative baseballs, actually, for that day. It was the last ever Red Sox-Yankees game at the ballpark.
So Donnie Sunblade gets
a former high school baseball player
hung with the sombrero.
To right field, a base knock for Kimbrough. He's 2 for 2.
We're going to have to bring that up next time everyone's together. Maybe we'll even do it for CHSAA TV at some point.
Kimbrough has a home run in 3 straight games, 4 of his last 5. He now has 9 hits in his last 3+ games. That's better numbers than some guys have in a season. He stands at first with nobody out. Hockmuth, the batter, swinging first pitch, fouling it away.
And it's interesting because Lockwood, again, they really seem to have measured him now. The Cadet hitters are swinging away with confidence. In that first inning, they were just kind of swinging away. Now it seems like they've got some strategy and they know what they're wanting to do with these swings, and they're putting them to good use. As now you've seen traffic on the bases the last 3 innings for Lockwood. He's dealt well with it for the most part, minus that second inning where he gave up the 3 runs. But the other thing we've got to watch and see how that back is holding up. Maybe he starts to get a little stiffness in that shoulder blade after taking the beanball in the last half inning.
0-2 to Hockmuth. Lockwood comes in. He hasn't allowed a home run this season. 7 complete games, 4 shutouts, and just a 160 batting average against. Again, a snap throw back to first, and you see that a lot more at this level than you do as you go higher up.
Well, I thought Ben Martinez had something. He got that off quickly. Now, the runner did react quickly from that second lead, but I thought Martinez might get him there. Oh, and he tried it again and lost the handle. That almost was a double play. He was hoping for the strikeout throwout, not to be. Lost the handle on that one. I don't think the runner had gotten far away anyway. I don't think Martinez, I thought, had a better chance on the first snap throw than that one. So now 5 strikeouts for Lockwood, despite not maybe having his best stuff today.
Runner goes, throw down is high. Good catch just to keep it on the infield by the shortstop Perez. So a swipe for Kimbrough, who's now at second with 1 away.
Broomfield seems to know that Air Academy wants to put their runners in motion on the base path. That's why you saw those snap throws. They're trying to keep the base runners as close to the base as possible. Now we'll see if we get any pickoff play coming at second.
Talked about the 5 strikeouts so far for Lockwood. In the second inning, Matt Ryan was a victim of Lockwood's. He's 0 for 1. With an RBI chance here in the 4th. Squibbed to the first baseman, Garcia, covering the pitcher, Lockwood. Advancing to third on the play is Kimbrough, now with 2 away.
But that, again, I think that's just the second infield out we've really seen produce, maybe third there for Lockwood. It's been a bit of an interesting day. It feels like he's either striking guys out or they're sending them deep to the outfield. Most of the outs have come on fly balls visiting the outfield. Not too much in the infield today. 3 outs Josh has confirmed inside the infield, but an interesting day for Lockwood.
And 5 via the K. Ground ball past the glove of Lockwood. This should do it. Giordano grounds out the end of the inning. A man left, a single from Kimbrough. He's stranded through 3 1/2, halfway home here at All City. It's 3-0 Air Academy.
The Kadets in the 4th. No runs scored on 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left. We're going to the bottom half of the 4th with Air Academy up 3-0. For the Eagles,
You say this is 6 or 7 innings? 7 innings, right? Not even an hour in. I think we're on pace for about a 2-hour game.
Don't call him the best color guy in the league for nothing.
They don't call him at all.
We got in a real jam to get you here.
This championship is brought to you by the Colorado High School Activities Association and all its partner partners, including Farmers Insurance and Max. Together, these partners provide opportunities for young people to excel. On half of the fourth inning for the Eagles, leading it off is catcher, number 5, Ben Martinez.
Back at All City Stadium, the parking lot is full. That's the Regis Jesuit Raiders making their way to the stadium. They take on the Cherry Creek Bruins right here on CHSAA.tv in the semifinal to advance to the championship game where the Legend Titans await. Ben Martinez leads things off against Kevin McGeary, who's been touched up for one hit, yet to give up a run here this afternoon. I keep saying this afternoon, still this morning. It's weird to see a sunny day of baseball so early.
They've got a full slate of games to get in this afternoon. That's the reason for the early start. Of course,
thought there'd be coffees waiting for us up here in the press box.
Well, you know what? You're not that important. That's what that tells you.
Lucky there was a chair.
I think Burt Borgman had coffee. They weren't worried about Josh Gross. That's where you rank. You just need to know where you are in the lineup. You are 8 or 9.
Well, at least I'm playing.
Yeah,
I think when I was on a baseball team, I wasn't even in the lineup, so I
I'm pinch
appreciate
hitting,
that.
so you ought to feel okay.
Catching the corner is Martinez. Thought it might have been ball 4. The count runs full. No, Little League, everyone plays. There's a rule on that, so I got in every now and again. Softly to left field. Yeager camps under it. Has it in his glove. One away.
McGeary giving up some long outs, but outs nonetheless. We'll see if he pays for that a little bit later on. But again, he is right where I think Air Academy wants him, giving the Kadets exactly what they need. The Regis Jesuit players now making their way inside the ball field here, inside the park. They're watching a few. Yeah, you can see him now walking behind the backstop as we have a high pitch from McGeary for ball 1. But they're going to make their way over to the Broomfield side, so they'll be occupying that dugout when this game is done.
You mentioned the fly balls. 2 to the left fielder Yeager, 1 to Chatron center. And Matt Ryan has snagged one. That off the bat of Brandon Bailey in the first. Now it's Gable who drew a walk in the second on a 2-0 count here. It was 4 straight pitches in his first at-bat, now 3-0. I don't know if McGeary's just lost command momentarily or if he wants no part of Dylan Gable.
Well, he hasn't had to face too many lefties, and of course he hit Lockwood the last lefty that he faced, so maybe that's weighing on his mind, but that was 4 balls and he gave him a base.
8 pitches, 2 walks for Gable. He's got 12 now in the season, matching his strikeout total. His on-base percentage continues to climb over 500.
Now conversation at the mound as Trevor Goldberg runs out there to talk to McGeary, who, again, really has settled in nicely in the middle parts of this game.
Jordan Arnsdorf steps in. He the beneficiary of back-to-back walks from McGeary in the second inning. Gable the leadoff first. He's going on the first pitch. Caught in a pickle, diving back and in time. Good throw from Goldberg. And Gable heads up, trots back.
Very heads up, because I don't think Gable had a chance of getting there. That ball was delivered a lot quicker than I think he was counting on. I don't know if he timed his jump out right or what happened there, but Gable would have been caught. I think the shortstop in this case would have been waiting on for him, giving him the come here fingers.
Goldberg thought about throwing behind the runner at first. The 1-1. Good move there by McGeary to the plate as he had Gable going the wrong way.
McGeary, though, has a lot of his stuff starting to sail high a little bit on him. Seen a lot of high. He's had a lot of his balls outside the zone, up high. So that great control we were seeing last inning is starting to flail a little bit.
Hit to left field between third and short. Station to station baseball as Gable now on second. Arnsdorf has reached twice today. First on a walk, now a base knock. Bringing up Albert Garcia. He stands to be the tying run at the plate.
This is Garcia's second chance to drive in that first run for Broomfield. Unsuccessful a couple innings ago in doing so. See if he can produce better results here. There's a lot of red in the park all of a sudden. I believe that's the Cherry Creek Bruins, right? Someone's going to have to get a white jersey on, aren't they?
That's still Regis, actually.
Oh, did they come in the other way?
They went to the wrong dugout. Now they're going to spend time down the first base line. Coached by Walt Weiss, the former big leaguer and World Series champion, Rookie of the Year. Brody Weiss, the shortstop, hit a home run in the first inning to give the Raiders a 2-0 lead yesterday. 2 on here with 1 out. Swing and a miss by Garcia on the breaking ball.
Broomfield runners thought about advancing, then thought better of it as that ball just kind of snuck away that time from Goldberg, but didn't make it too far outside the dirt. I think the right decision made there to stay at your base.
Yeah, the catcher has a cannon from behind home plate. We've seen it on exhibit this afternoon. Fake jump, swing and a miss, a strikeout for Garcia, so it's left in the hands of the number 9 batter, Hayden Estes, who led off the third inning with a strikeout of his own.
2 out, 2 on at the plate. Left fielder number 16, Hayden Estes.
Estes looks at ball 1.
And that's a pitch again that McGeary, when he had it going a little bit early on, that was a little bit more inside, and the ump was giving him the call. Right now, that pitch has sailed a little bit outside, more into the batter's box the last few times he's thrown it.
Number 17, Dylan Gable on second, watches the ball scoot in front of Goldberg. Jordan Arnsdorf at first, with the first baseman Hockmuth playing behind the runner with 2 away.
Got to figure they're going to make him throw a strike before he's allowed to take a hack, don't you?
I think so in this position. Pickoff play, nobody home for McGeary and the Kadets. Estes has driven in 13. He's scored 20 himself. A strike at the knees, 2-1. Nice pitch from McGeary.
If I'm McGeary right now, I think maybe just think about that batter at the plate.
This is the 9th man in the lineup. You don't want to see it turn over here in the 4th. Check swing, 3-1 as Estes held up.
Giordano out there at shortstop seems to want to be running that sneaky pick play again.
The 3-1 catches the corner. We've gone full. The runners will be in motion upon the next pitch. Top of the hour here, All City Stadium, 11 a.m. on just a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. Timeout called by the catcher. A cross up as far as signals, and want to send special thanks to all the veterans and those, their families, and those who have lost their lives serving this great nation and allowing us to enjoy America's pastime here this weekend. McGeary really concerned with the base runner, Gable, at second base. Trying to keep him close on the full count payoff. Runners go, swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts after 2 runners reach with 1 away. Getting out of it, Kevin McGeary, high fives from his dugout. It's 4-0 Air Academy, and McGeary with the lead through 4. reset situation here. The Kadets with a 3-0 lead. Broomfield and Air Academy, top of the 5th inning. Ball sent right past Lockwood. And a 5th inning leadoff single, the second of the game for Butler. Second hit as he had a double and 2 RBIs in the second. So let's reset here, Andy. If Air Academy wins, we'll do it over this afternoon for these two teams. Each would have 1 loss. The winner of that game would win the 4A state title. If Broomfield were to come back in this game and win, this would be the championship bout.
Well, you talk about a reset. There was a reset right there. That hit right up the middle. That's the kind of hit that we saw really punish Lockwood in that big second inning that earned this 3-0 lead for Air Academy. So if they can get on that same plane and start sending those balls right up the middle again towards the center fielder, there could be more trouble for Lockwood.
Butler on at first, squaring to bunt is Goldberg. Saw Highlands Ranch yesterday in 5A action. Really struggled to get the bunt down, and ultimately it probably cost him the game.
Yeah, some missed opportunities for sure for Highlands Ranch in that game. I know they were frustrated about the outcome and the opportunities that they lost.
Squaring around now, pulling it back, and that one gets through the right side. The second baseman, Arnsdorf, was already over on the first base bag, and a harmless tap there by Goldberg ends up in right field. 2 on, nobody out here to start the 5th.
Well, and Air Academy just using their minds. Now we're going to get a runner coming in for Air Academy. That'll be Tyler Wilborn. But that fake bunt produced exactly what they wanted in the defensive alignment. As you laid it out, that would have been a hit right to the first baseman in a normal defensive alignment. But because they were charging in for the fake bunt, there was nobody left there. The second baseman had moved over to cover.
Now Yeager squares around and taps that one foul. That actually might have been a double play ball. I know it was hit softly to the right side, but if Garcia could have caught it, he might have been able to turn it, get the lead runner Butler at second, and the throwback to get Goldberg at first. Instead, it's 2 on, nobody out. It's ruled a hit through the right side. Squaring around once again, and the snap throw to second, not in time. The runner advancing to third as diving back into first was the pinch runner Wilborn. Advancing to third on the play was Butler.
I think Ben Martinez got caught up a little bit with the man at first, forgot about the man at second. Now, that was a good throw. It was high. Had he gotten it lower, I think there might have been an out there, and he would have produced the result that he wanted, but instead the throw was high. No chance to get the tag down, and advancing to third on the play, and now got the runner taking off for second.
Yeah, Butler was dancing off third, and the pinch runner Wilborn running for Goldberg was headed for second. As a check swing foul off the bat of Yeager. 0-2. He tried to get a bunt down, now swings through it and strikes out. So a missed opportunity with a runner on third. It's left to Kevin McGeary to help his own cause.
I'll say this for Broomfield. When you're playing Broomfield and you're on first base, you better watch Martinez. He seemingly wants to throw down to first every time to try to pick off any runner that may be there.
Yeager, the 6th strikeout victim of the afternoon. And just as you mentioned it, Martinez in stride thinks about throwing to first with Wilborn there again.
He's looked that way every time. I don't know if maybe he's trying to set up something of his own where he's going to then return the fire to third and try to pick off the lead man. But
doesn't seem like Brandon Bailey's on the same page. He's not the one sneaking over to the bag, though. Runner goes off first. Look out in the stands. Wilborn will have to retreat back to the bag with a 1-1 count on Kevin McGeary, the cleanup hitter, who's had himself a game so far on the mound. He's had trouble in a couple innings, but has managed to blank the Eagles through 4.
Well, both managers talked today about putting pressure on the other team's defense. So far, Air Academy the one doing it. There's another outside pitch, and with runners on the corners and another possible run coming across with a man on third, it's just a tough situation for Broomfield, and they look jittery right now to me in the field.
Well, Goldberg would not have had a hit. You can say that with certainty. As the throw down to second, picked off. The throw down, caught stealing was the pinch runner Wilborn. So he's gunned down by Martinez.
And you wonder if someone missed a sign. Wilborn took off like he was going no matter what. I don't know if maybe a hit and run was on and the batter didn't notice it, or just because it was so far outside he didn't bother to off-rat it.
Now McGeary taking ball 4, so the caught stealing is out number 2, and it eliminates the bases loaded 1-out situation for the Kadets.
I just have to wonder. I don't know how you saw it, Josh. That just looked like Wilborn had just made up his mind he was going no matter what. And with that pitch outside again, that pulled Martinez out into his feet. He was in perfect position to throw down. And it didn't look like Wilborn ever even looked at the catcher. He just put his head down and went. And he was, again, it just seemed to me like he was going no matter what. I don't know if maybe he lost track of the count. He thought that was going to be ball 4 regardless.
Or he was trying to get in a rundown to give Butler a chance to score.
Yeah, it just didn't look right. Didn't look right to me.
Butler has speed, 10 stolen bases, so he can pedal around the path. Check swing foul ball off Shatraw's bat. 0 for 2, fly out to center in the second. He struck out to end the third. Looking at the signals, at the third base coach. I always wonder about that with 2 outs, especially a runner on third. Get a hit. Maybe the runner off first will go again as the ball hangs high, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, everyone going through the signs again.
It's like a leadoff man. Start an inning. Get on. Flared to right. That one will drop outside the foul line. So 1-2 with 2 outs. Runners on the corners for the number 5 hitter.
Dylan Gable giving chase. Good effort. Try to get over there and try to get his team out of this inning. Runner on third. They would have survived a fairly major threat to push an extra run across and extend the lead to 4.
2 hits, a walk, a caught stealing. The man off first goes. Struck out looking is Shatraw. Back-to-back strikeouts for the outs recorded here in the top of the 5th inning. And the Kadets strand 2. A caught stealing, 7 hits so far for Air Academy. 3 pushed across. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's the top seed with the 3-0 cushion. Top of the 5th we go. Or excuse me, bottom 5 we go. Top of the order, Parker Oliver, the leadoff man. The Eagles have stranded 2 on base in each of its last 3 innings. Yet to push one across is Broomfield, who comes in knowing a win this morning, and the state crown is theirs. First pitch, swinging, it's popped foul, giving chase is Hockmuth, and it lands between Hockmuth, Ryan, and the second baseman, Curtis Butler, out of play.
Well, my advanced scout is telling me to watch things this inning. He said that with the ball coming up in the zone for McGeary, and the 3rd time through for this Broomfield squad to take a look at him, he thinks some big things could be happening offensively for Broomfield, so we'll see if he's correct.
How much are you paying for your information?
Well,
another pop-up, this one the right side, Hockmuth right there. Calls off the second baseman, Butler, makes the play himself, 1 away.
We'll see. We'll see how much that information's worth. maybe a cup of coffee by the time we're all said and done. I think McDonald's dishes it out for free at certain points. So you know what? That may be what he gets.
A third inning double from Brandon Bailey. He flied out in the first, 1 for 2 on the day. Is the junior. McGeary 4 in the third in the books. 2 hits against him thus far, one of them belonging to the current batter.
McGeary continues to try to work that outside corner. That's been his favorite spot so far today during this game.
Strike at the belt, 1-1. Broomfield's had their chances in the first 4 innings as Bailey sends this one off to the right side foul. Couple walks, back-to-back walks in the second. A double and a hit batsman in the third. A walk and a single in the fourth. After the lone 1-2-3 inning to start the game as Oliver, Bailey the current man, and Lockwood sent down. That one off the plate to the third baseman, Kimbrough. Crossed the diamond 2 away. From one third baseman to another, Kimbrough retires Bailey, and now the pitcher, Jackson Lockwood.
See if Lockwood can't get something started for his squad. He, of course, got beamed in his last at-bat, pegged on that back shoulder blade.
And as we talk about the threats that the Eagles have had, they haven't been able to get the leadoff man on. In fact, in the second, it was with 2 outs that the threat started. Same in the third, 2 away. The walk to Gable in the fourth was with 1 out. A single followed, and then back-to-back strikeouts from the left arm of McGeary to set aside Broomfield. Hanging high on the fastball from pitcher to pitcher.
McGeary choosing to work quickly now with Lockwood. He slows up a little bit here. Almost quick pitched him that last time.
To dead center on a line coming in Shatraw. It'll fall in front of him. So a base knock for the pitcher. He's reached his last 2 at-bats. Hit by pitch in the third, now a single in the fifth, and again a base runner with outs for the Eagles.
And we're going to get a runner yet again. This time Lockwood's going to toss the helmet off to one of his counterparts there.
Same man, Ryan McCulley, comes in for him. Ran for him in the third inning as well.
2 outs and batting now, shortstop number 13, Angelo Henry.
The cleanup man, Perez. Flied to left, flied to center. Looks to get his bat going here as we approach late innings at All City. The lead for McCulley. McGeary with an eye on him. Foul tipped at the plate. But he's saying a ball as it actually hit the dirt before the bat.
I think you're right. I think it hopped off the dirt, caught the bat as Perez checked his swing.
So a 1-0 count. To right center field. Few steps back for Ryan, and that'll do it. Another 2-out base runner for the Eagles. He's stranded. That's 7 in the last 4 innings. And McGeary through 5 is scoreless. 3-0 Kadets in the 4A championship.
Sportswomen of Colorado provide scholarships to those girls in need. Go to the Sportswomen of Colorado website for additional information. www.sportswomenofcolorado, all one word, capital letter, .org.
Inside All City Stadium. We head to the top half of the 6th inning with the Air Academy Kadets 3-0 lead. All 3 runs coming in the 2nd inning. McGeary, Kimbrough, and Hockmuth touched home plate. Speaking of Kimbrough, he's the man at bat. 2 for 2 today. He's scored a run.
We've had plenty of balls leaving the yard, but not because they've been home runs. These foul balls are finding the parking lot left and right. I hope everyone's car's okay as the first out's recorded.
Bailey, long throw across, gets him the first time that Lockwood's able to retire Kevin Kimbrough this morning here today.
Are you a veteran of knowing where to park your car? Did you park your car in a safe spot?
I'm by the street a few hundred feet back.
You feel like you're safe? You feeling good about your odds?
I feel good. Yesterday I was a little bit too close. I pulled back before I left my car, and I still was nervous throughout the doubleheader action. Hockmuth swings through 0-1. He had a single and came around to score in the 2nd. Foul tip into the glove of Martinez, 0-2.
Lockwood looks like he's settled in very nicely. He's kind of got it on cruise control now, having a nice couple of innings here, but the bats just haven't been going for him.
Looking is Hockmuth. He struck out his last 2 plate appearances, the last time swinging. This one looking 2 quick outs here for Lockwood, who comes in with just 1 loss on the season. Lockwood now with 97 strikeouts this season. Squaring down to bunt down the third base line. Ryan, the long throw by Bailey's not in time. And Ryan legs out an infield bunt single with 2 away.
Ryan showing excellent speed because that bunt had great momentum. It's not like it died in between the third baseman and catcher like you'd like it to. It had legs and hopped its way out to the third baseman, but the wheels shown by Ryan just too much in order to, they're not able to record the out.
He's got 3 bunts as sacrifices this season. Now gets himself on and is 1 for 3 with the infield bunt single. The grass so beautifully manicured here at All City Stadium. And he got quickly into the third baseman. Bailey, quick scoop and throw, but couldn't get the runner. A strike to Giordano, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Interesting to see if they put the runner in motion here to get him in scoring position with 2 outs. Giordano to the shortstop, the short way, and a close play at second as Ahrensdorf records the out. The Kadets with an infield single. Strand 1, 5.5 in the books, 3-0 Air Academy as the Eagles look to get things going offensively.
From exciting 3A action in Greeley, Colorado at Busch Butler, 3-2 score, East over Lamar after 4. Admission to an interscholastic event is a privilege, and with that privilege comes responsibility. Responsibility to conduct oneself in a manner where the meeting is enjoyable for other fans and participants. CHSAA, thank you for keeping this in mind during the game today.
The Broomfield Eagles have been aggressive throughout the season in doubleheader games or ones like this one where a win on the front end and you're in good shape. They've had doubleheaders Thursdays, Saturdays throughout the season and the regionals, and then, of course, getting the win to secure a best of 2 here where a victory in either would mean the title. But today, just unable to push a run across the plate. The leadoff man, Ben Martinez, skies to center and Chatraw one away.
The Broomfield Eagles got together in front of their dugout, had a little team huddle before they started taking their warm-up hacks to start this bottom half of the inning. And imagine that coach just telling them, you guys got to focus, now's the time. They're running out of at-bats.
Martinez dumps his bucket in the helmet, and hit by the pitch is Dylan Gable. He gives an extra look to the pitcher McGeary, and I can't imagine at this point in the game there would be any intent from McGeary.
No, and that was one, frankly, that it looked to me like Gable could have got out of the way a little bit if he wanted to. That's taking one for the team by definition right there. He kind of hung his hip out there and allowed it to be tagged in a way, in my opinion. So that's just good, tough baseball play. Puts runners on, which you know the coach was desperate for, and not sure what the look was about.
Arnsdorf, who had the catch at second base for the final out of the top half of the inning. He's reached both plate appearances today, a walk in the second, a single on a one-strike count in the fourth. Gable the leadoff first. A check on him, and McGeary has shown better moves this afternoon than that one. Gable hops right back out. 5 steals this year. McGeary has him leaning back, and a throw from the pitcher to first. Well, if there's anything Broomfield can't afford is having a guy gunned down at second base. Low 1-0.
Broomfield needs traffic on the bases, then they need to produce something. They still are hitting everything into the outfield and right where the position players are set up for defense. So not a lot of tough plays this afternoon for this Air Academy defense, really.
Martinez, the catcher, flew out to center to start the inning. Gable was hit by a pitch. Now Arnsdorf ahead in the count, 3-0. Gable with a fake go. Gets McGeary to throw that one, a 55-footer. 2 on now with 1 away. The tying run comes to the plate, and Albert Garcia once again. He's had his opportunities at bat. It hasn't been able to contribute so far. A couple of strikeouts to thwart threats.
Yeah, Garcia, now this will be his third at bat where he's had a chance to produce a run with a good hit. Runner at second base. And he's just been unable to perform, so we'll see if he can do any better here. Gets a couple words of advice from his manager before stepping into the box. Now Air Academy meets their defensive huddle, has their defensive huddle out on the mound. Everybody but the outfield in.
The Broomfield Eagles, the state champs back in 2006. 5 outs away from it going to sudden victory state championship format game. The head coach, Garen Estes, out for substitution, as it looks like Ryan McCulley, who's pinch run a couple times for the pitcher Lockwood, now gets his first plate appearance.
We've told you, don't go to sleep on this Broomfield offense. Now, they still aren't really producing with their bats. They're getting guys on. Hit by pitch, now walk. They've got traffic on, 1 out. Let's see if they can produce. And Ryan McCulley is going to pinch hit for Albert Garcia.
Given the afternoon that Garcia had, runner trying to move to third. The throw is on the outside portion of the bag. Advancing on the wild pitch is Gable. Staying put at first is Arnsdorf. First and third with 1 away.
Maybe a bit of a missed opportunity there for both runners to move up.
Well, yesterday, a very similar play, and the runner from first to second, the trail runner, was gunned down. Hit on the base to third. It's inside the line. 1 run will score. On to third is Arnsdorf. The Eagles on the board and in business, second and third with 1 out, 3-1.
And the plot thickens, Mr. Gross. We've been saying all afternoon, if they were able to get the bats alive, Broomfield still held down for the most part, held in check. The Air Academy Kadets allowing a lot of this damage to be done by their own. Again, the hit by the pitch, the walk, You have another wild pitch that allows that runner to advance to third that eventually now just got pushed across for the first run of the day. Otherwise, if there's not that wild pitch, that runner's not in position. And with the depth that hit just received, I don't think you would have been sending the runner on that play. So now they've got men on second and third instead of having the bases loaded situation. So it gets interesting. And again, another conversation on the hill for some of the Air Academy defenders.
The tying run stands at second base in the likes of Ryan McCulley. Gable becomes the first Eagle to score this afternoon. He's officially no at-bats, but he's reached 3 times, 2 walks, and now the hit by pitch leads to a run.
And the pinch hitter pays off.
Estes, first pitch swinging, popped up behind short. Going out is Giordano in between the triangle. What a catch by the left fielder Luke Yeager. Tagging from third and scoring is Jordan Arnsdorf. They'll appeal at third base. And he left early, says the umpire. So what looked like a sacrifice fly instead is leaving early on the amazing catch by the left fielder Yeager and a double play. The umpires will discuss it as Garrett Estes is livid and out talking to the men in blue.
Here's a look at it again. We'll be able to tell when they got the catch, but we don't know when the runner left by that angle, and that's going to be tough to pick up. But you see the little hop. I can see why they appealed the play, because the man that made the catch took a little hop. It looked like he landed a little short and then had to pop up and move over one to make the catch. Went for like a slide and then jumped and almost dove at the ball. And now we've got a conversation with the umpires out in between third and second. And I don't think Longmont's going to get the answer that they wanted Broomfield, as Broomfield's manager now is talking with the head of the crew, and you can tell he doesn't like the answer. Or no, now
he
wait.
Does.
Yes, he does.
But does he
put it back on?
Here's the question: does the catch stand in the outfield? Right? It was a double play. I think the catch would stand. The runner tagging from third would score, but it was the home plate umpire who called him out. That's his job, to be watching the man at third to make sure he doesn't leave early. We'll try to get things sorted out for you here.
Well, Air Academy right now does not want to take the field again. Broomfield quickly to put their man back on second, obviously.
Yeah, get the batting helmets on, as Bertie Moncalo wants an explanation from the 3-man crew.
It's so tough because, again, at the replay we were able to show you of the catch, you can see why it's tough to tell when the runner was allowed to leave. Because when the defensive player initially made the slide, that's not when the catch happened. He then had to kind of hop up and jump over, and that's where he got the catch. It was a tough play, and I don't think anybody really got the read they wanted to. Now Air Academy's going to take the field again. The run is up on the board, so I'm assuming we're staying a 3-2 score, 2 outs, and the runner's still at second. So explanation here from Bert Borgman. So obviously a disagreement between what the two umpires saw, but it doesn't matter. Right now we've got a 1-run game in Broomfield. I don't know that I've ever really seen a manager win an argument, but first time for everything for me. We've seen it today. Broomfield gets their way.
Pretty few and far between as Parker Oliver bats with a runner on second base. That is Ryan McCulley. Arnsdorf, who they initially ruled left early from third, he tags and scores. Credit a sacrifice fly to Hayden Estes. Good thing as I'm using pen on my score sheet, I didn't write it in. Otherwise, I would have been in real trouble.
There would have been a black hole there.
Estes, his second sacrifice of the year, driven to center field. Shatraw's right there, so the inning ends a batter later. We've got ourselves a ball game at All City Field. 3 runs from the Kadets in the second. The Eagles respond with 2 in the bottom of the 6th. It's the 7th and final inning in regulation here at All City. 3-2 Air Academy.
Your attention please, re-entering for the Broomfield Eagles and playing first base, Albert Garcia. Garcia, re-entering. Top of the seventh, 3-2 game. Great baseball game going on. Top of the order for the Kadets. Second baseman number 15, Curtis Butler.
Top of the sixth inning. Seventh here for the Kadets. The top of the lineup, Curtis Butler, who he gets hit by a pitch leading off. He's not happy as he chucks the bat towards his dugout. And we saw a hit batsman in the bottom of the sixth. That was Dylan Gable who came around to score. And if either of these pitchers are throwing it, guys, it's probably not the right time and the right setting and the right circumstance, as we now have a one-run game in inning number 7.
Yeah, I think that was tit for tat there, though, as we almost have another snap throw. I would say that was a little bit tit for tat, because I think that was the case where the Air Academy batter chose to take the pitch, much like we saw what happened at the start of
from
the
Dylan
Broomfield
Gable.
For Dylan Gable, where he just kind of leaned into it. I think Air Academy said, fine, we're not going to get out of the way either.
Bunt down the third base line, charging was Bailey, and it goes foul through the coach's box. But how can you afford to give up the leadoff man on in a one-run game in a state championship setting?
Oh, I don't think he was throwing at him at all. I just think it was a case of two guys wanting to get on base any way possible, trying to create traffic.
Okay.
I can promise you Lockwood is not throwing at anybody right now.
Squaring around a bunt, popped up. Bailey makes the catch in foul territory. The throwback to first. 2 Eagles there. It was Arensdorf who had the backup on first. I'm not sure which man Bailey was throwing to, but back safely is Butler.
Bailey, I think, was throwing to the second baseman. The first baseman was down and letting him know, I'm not standing up to make a play for you. So,
again, the little things in baseball coming back to hurt teams here in state championship action. A failed bunt attempt from Goldberg leads to an out, as Luke Yeager, who made the fantastic catch in left field in the bottom of the inning, digs in.
Again, inside for Lockwood. He nearly puts another man on.
Yeager 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts.
Yeager's already been hit by Lockwood. Maybe there's something going on with these two. I don't know, but
runner running, fouled off the plate. Is it a live ball or not? No, it is foul. They're saying it hit the batter while he was in the box. Yeah, Yeager was the man who struck out in the first. He got hit on the hand, and they ruled that it also hit the bat on the swing, which kept him in the box and ultimately led to him going down on strikes.
I'd be curious to see what Yeager's finger looks like after that. Again, we talked about it probably looking like your finger would after getting slammed in a car door.
You know what my favorite part about the 4 players converging as Yeager slaps one off into the stands? The Yeager catch, there were 4 players, 4 white jerseys in the area. Yeager makes the catch. The center fielder, Shatraw, and the shortstop, Giordano, celebrated. They pointed, yep, he got it. As down on strikes is Yeager, 2 away. 3 strikeouts this morning for Yeager. And the pitcher, Kevin McGeary. Is he going to bat or not?
I think he wants a new one.
We'll get a pinch batter for him. Coming in.
Let him make the bottom half of the inning interesting, as McGeary's had a nice game. Now, he did get touched up for some runs in that last half of the inning.
It was a little confusing because we saw Shatraw on deck, which he was the on-deck man, and nobody came to grab a helmet until finally. The Kadets use the sophomore Garrick Enzer. He's wearing number 20 today, not number 30. The left-handed batter looks at ball 1. Again, he and Hockmuth, the two sophomores on the roster, and now both have played today. Ensor looks at ball 2 outside.
See, and again, that's where I would offer more proof that you don't have Lockwood thrown at anybody, because he's outside. That would be inside on those right-handed batters. He's just kind of losing his control of that part of the plate right now.
Strike on the inner corner at the knees, 2-1.
No problem with that pitch, though. So he comes right back and drives it right down the middle of the highway.
Butler, who was hit to lead off the inning, stands off first as Ensor, without taking the bat off his shoulder, finds himself in a 2-2 count. Shatra on deck. Kadets by 1. Ensor softly foul down third.
Tough situation to come into for Ensor. Didn't look like he expected to be doing any pinch hitting. Didn't have a bat, didn't have a helmet. Got about 3 warm-up swings, and now here he is, recording the final out of the inning.
Down swinging is the sophomore. 1 left in the top of the 7th. Last licks for the Broomfield Eagles as they trail a 3-2.
Your attention, please. Re-entering the 5th of the Kadets, replacing Ensor. Number 5, Kevin
Bottom of the 7th inning at All City Stadium. Josh Gross, Andy Lindahl with you. The Eagles trailing by 1. And just to explain the 4A Baseball State Championship playoff scenarios once again. If Broomfield were to come back and win, this would be the title game, and the season would end. If the Kadets pull out this 3-2 victory, these two teams will play once again here at All City on CHSAA.TV this afternoon, and that game would determine the state champion. McGeary was pinch hit for, but he's able to stay in and lays a strike to Brandon Bailey, who has a double this afternoon. Really changing speeds, taking a lot off that one. McGeary, and Bailey kept the bat on his shoulder. The 1-1 is high.
Bailey's had an interesting day so far against McGeary. Excuse me, he had a very good battle against him in his first at-bat. Seemed befuddled by him before, and then found a way to come up with a hit. This one he's going to pop up and record the first out of the inning.
Matt Ryan takes care of Brandon Bailey. Jackson Lockwood, the pitcher, bats next. 2 outs away from a bonus baseball game is Kevin McGeary and the Air Academy Kadets. Lockwood popped to short in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third, and singled in the 5th. McGeary delivers, ball 1.
Lockwood trying to help his own cause, maybe even extend this game.
There's a strike. Lockwood with 3 home runs this season. 41 hits on the year, and a 14-game hitting streak. Here's the 1-2. That one in the dirt, squaring the count up at 2.
Lockwood just trying to get on base, put some pressure again on this Air Academy defense.
Both pitchers have gone the distance so far. The 3-1 swung on and fouled to the left side behind third base and into the parking lot. Full count. McGeary shakes off the first sign, likes the second, deals, delivers. That one in the air as well to the second, the shortstop. No, coming over is Kimbrough now and making the play in front of Giordano as Kevin Kimbrough called him off.
Giordano looked like he wanted to make the play. Little conversation between the two players there as they send the ball around the horn, and now one more at bat for Broomfield unless they can pull even.
Last hopes for the Eagles. And Coach Garen Estes is the cleanup man. The shortstop, Angelo Perez, who's got 4 home runs in 2012. Wiggles the Easton bat. McGeary's pitch is high and wide, ball 1. McGeary's retired the last 5, dating back to the last inning. The ball is in play. Kimbrough across the diamond. That'll do it. Kevin McGeary and the Air Academy Kadets victorious over the Broomfield Eagles 3-2. A state championship final, winner take all, coming this afternoon from All City Stadium. The win for McGeary, the loss to Jackson Lockwood. The first loss of the postseason for the Broomfield Eagles as they fall to 21-5 this year. Air Academy improves to 23-3 for Bernie Moncalo, who won a state title a few years ago in 5A.
Well played game by Air Academy. Everything went the way they wanted to. They produced that pressure on the base paths like their coach had talked about, and we'll see if they can reproduce that game plan coming up a little bit later on this afternoon now, as we will have one final game for the state title coming up in 4A. So the Kadets doing what nobody else has been able to do to Broomfield this entire playoff go-round, and that's hand them a loss. Nothing like a Game 7 in any sport, and that's going to be basically the equivalent of what we're about to have this afternoon.
It's nice when you have the top 2 seeds, the 1 and the 2, facing off in a well-played ball game. No errors on either side. 3-8-0 for the Cadets, 2-4-0 for the Eagles, who stranded 2 runners in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, a runner in the sixth, and failed to reach there in the 7th. So these two teams will do it again after the semifinal game in 5A between the Cherry Creek Bruins and the Regis Jesuit Raiders. That coming up shortly here on CHSAA.tv. This has been a production of the Play On Sports Network. For Andy Lindahl, our entire production crew, I'm Josh Gross saying so long from All City Field. We'll be back with 5A semifinal baseball. Be sure to order your DVD of today's game at prepfilms.com. Thanks for joining us. 3-2 Kadets, the 4A final later today.